a historic occasion for ASEAN, the signing of the Declaration on the Admission of Timor-Leste into ASEAN took place at the opening ceremony of the 47th ASEAN Summits held on 26 October 2025. This officially makes Timor-Leste an 11th member state of ASEAN community, completing Timor-Leste's almost 25 years attempt. The country is one of the world's youngest nations, having regained independence in 2002. It was a Portuguese colony until 1975, before being invaded by Indonesia shortly afterward. Following the 1999 referendum, in which Timorese overwhelmingly voted for independence under United Nations supervision, from early on, Timor-Leste has expressed its ambition to become a member of ASEAN. Timor-Leste first applied for ASEAN membership was in 2011. But the process was dragged on for over a decade due to a constant question of whether the young, oil-dependent country with limited bureaucratic capacity could shoulder the burdens of ASEAN membership. However, the momentum finally shifted in 2022 when ASEAN agreed to grant Timor-Leste an observer status, and a year later, a detailed roadmap to membership was adopted. Under Malaysia's 2025 chairmanship, ASEAN decided to welcome Timor-Leste into the ASEAN family. Despite this progress, the biggest challenge for Timor-Leste remains its fragile socio-economic indicators. The country remains poorest in Southeast Asia, with 42% of the population living below the national poverty line. The country is one of the world's highest rates of child malnutrition, while access to education and healthcare remains limited. Its economy overwhelmingly depends on oil and gas revenues. Therefore, being part of ASEAN gives Timor-Leste new opportunities. Within the bloc, Timor-Leste gains access to a market of 650 million people and an economy worth nearly $4 trillion. Investor who once saw the half-island state as isolated may now see it as part of an integrated regional network. Furthermore, the ASEAN badge also opens diplomatic doors, giving the country a seat at high-level meeting with China, Japan, India, the European Union, Australia, and the Gulf states. ASEAN also needs Timor-Leste. ASEAN's inability to manage the crisis in Myanmar has inevitably defamed the bloc reputation. However, welcoming Timor-Leste gives ASEAN a positive story of inclusion and fresh democratic renewal. Geopolitically, Southeast Asia is facing an intense competition between China and the United States, as well as between other emerging powers. Timor-Leste, strategically located on vital sea lanes between the Indian and Pacific Oceans. Bringing the country into ASEAN is to ensure that Timor-Leste remains anchored to the region rather than drifting toward any single patron. However, becoming ASEAN family is not just about political will. Timor-Leste still needs to demonstrate its capacity to host and contribute fully to the organization. Yet, with continued progress, the country may one day assume the role of chair, standing alongside its regional peers under the shared vision of ASEAN, one vision, one identity, one community.